In 2008, Korean society came across a new paradigm due to the vast number of people pouring out onto the streets and squares, criticizing the Lee administration's U.S. beef import policy. Instead of pursuing conversation and communication, the government turned to suppression against the assembly, which was named Candlelight Rally, that took place for days. The police committed indiscriminate violence against the protesters using water cannons, and many were injured and arrested in the process. The violent suppression continued in 2009. At the scene of the Yongsan tragedy, which took 6 lives, and at the scene of Ssangyong Motors strike, the forced suppression by the police did not stop. According to 2009 guidelines for assembly protest management, the police have decided to actively curb assemblies, which may possibly turn into illegal violence, for their registration stage. Although this is the police's justification for the legitimacy of its actions, it is also an overt violation of freedom of expression.
경찰의 자의적 판단에 의해 서울 사대문 안에서의 집회는 불가능해졌으며 이제 한국에서 집회 시위의 권리는 누릴 수 없는 이름뿐인 권리가 되었다.
Assemblies and rallies now have no place within Korean society. Preposterous events such as arrests of civil group members in the midst of a press conference also occurred. According to Seoul newspaper's report on May 19, 2009, the police created a blacklist for constant protesters, which named approximately 2,500 wanted for arrest and named about 20 organizations as anti-governmental, illegal, left-wing, or regular protesting groups. This led to official statements of concern for the regression of Korean democracy by Koreans in various fields.
앵무새처럼 그들의 이야기를, 잘못된 이야기를 전달하는 그런 비양심적인 교사들은 될 수 없습니다.
As a response, the government dismissed teachers and public employees who participated in the statement for violating the prohibition of public employees' involvement in political activity clause.
조선중앙동아일보에 대한 광고 중단 운동을 벌인 혐의로 네티즌 24명이 형사처벌됐습니다.
Violations of the freedom of expression also occurred in cyberspace. The advertisement boycott campaign conducted by the Coalition for Media Consumers' Rights ended with criminal charges. Moreover, the arrest of online debater Dae-sung Park, also known as Minerva, became a huge issue in the Korean society, stirring hot discussion over the freedom of expression in cyberspace. Also, a netizen who wrote a critical article on the government online was penalized, and a cartoonist who drew an anti-government caricature was charged without arrest. It has come to a point in Korea where not even the freedom of the press is recognized. The Minister of Agriculture filed suit on the charge of defamation against MBC's TV program PD Sukchop, which criticized the government's U.S. beef import policy. And the writers and producers responsible for the show were arrested and imprisoned. In addition, the arrest of YTN labor union's chairman for interference of business and leading a strike against the government appointment of CEO demonstrates the oppression against the press, whose freedom of expression should be guaranteed most of all.
얼마 전에 산오련이라고 하는 영장이 기각된 단체들에 대해서 끊임없이 얘네들은 수사를 하고 그렇게 하고 있습니다. 그 말미에 현재
권민연행 오늘 탄압이 이어졌습니다.
Freedom of thought and expression has been in breach for a long time. Recent inspection, seizures, and searches of the two pro-unification organizations, Coalition for Unification of Homeland and Socialist Workers Federation, shows the violations of freedom of ideas and expression faced by Korea. Moreover, recently the Ministry of National Defense created and distributed a list of seditious books, which included books authored by Chomsky and dismissed military judicial officers who filed suit contending that the list was unconstitutional.
국가가 국민을 상대로 명예훼손으로 이렇게 소송을 제기한 것은 아마 대한민국에서 처음 있는 일이고 세계에서도 처음 있는 일이 아닌가.
As such, democracy of Korea in 2008 and 2009 face a serious challenge. The violent use of state authority, shaking the fundamental roots of democracy, is in turn transforming the Korean society into a dead, freedom of expression society.